Hello everybody, this is Dr. Archangel, and I've got some bad news. Well, not completely bad, but it's not good. So the next episode to AOD is taking longer than I thought, so it might take maybe another week, 2 tops, but it's not frozen in place. It's just subtitles are a pain in the ass. So pardon my language, but it's true. So, until then, I've tied you down with a little one-shot I made. It's another SNK audio one-shot, where it's in a Gears of War alternate universe based on the Xbox 360 game. Yeah. I'll admit I'm kind of concerned for Gears 4, but because Gears of War 3 closed it off very well. So, without further ado, I will give you this one shot right now. They say the boogeyman was an excuse for kids to stay in bed during the night. But once they grew older, those same kids will realize it was just a way for parents to keep them in line. Very soon, 3 typical 10-year-old kids will learn that there really was a boogeyman. Actually, more like boogeymen. Aaron Yeager was the only son to Grisha and Carla Yeager, the second most esteemed family in Tyrus, next to the Phoenix family. His closest friends, Mikasa and Armin, would always spend time with him when their parents came to work in the Yeager estate. Aaron was always a good-natured kid, but his ambition weighed in balance of him. He'd do anything for his 2 friends, no matter what. Aaron and Mikasa were playing a game of tag in the hallway. Laughter filled the air in the house, and smiles brightened the rooms. Aaron was it, and Mikasa was fast. It never surprised him. Ever since he knew her, she's always been fast. And when she got to know the layout of the manor, there was no stopping her. "Slow down, Mikasa," Aaron said. The only response was her giggling, like the entire hallway was laughing at him. In the distant halls, Aaron could hear the front doors open. His instinct kicked, thinking it was Armin. He was right. Armin shouted from downstairs, calling his 2 best friends. Aaron ran back through the halls at full speed, and Mikasa dashed right beside him in a flash. Aaron just ignored her cute smile, 'cause he knew she was trying to gloat. They raced down the rest of the way down to Armin's location, and Mikasa, as usual, is winning. Aaron tries hard to pick up the pace, and he's barely catching up. Armin first caught a glimpse of Mikasa. She was about to win the race, till Aaron slid down the stair railing. Aaron won the race. "You cheater," Mikasa pouted. Aaron just stuck his tongue out to reply. "Hey, come on, you guys. I just arrived. Don't fight," Armin requested. "Yeah," Aaron and Mikasa said together. Coming from behind Armin came his grandfather. "Hey, kids. Do any of you know where Grisha is?" "In his office," Aaron said. "Good." He bowed his head with a warm smile. Mr. Arlert went upstairs, and coming down on the other side was none other than Mrs. Ackerman, Mikasa's mother. The Ackerman family knew the Yeagers for years, generations even. They even considered the Ackermans part of the family. They've been through the Pendulum Wars, and then some. "All right, kids, who wants to go to the park?" Mrs. Ackerman said. The kids just cheered to the news, Aaron seeming the most excited of the 3. "Come on, kids, let's have some fun," Mikasa's mother answered. The nearby park was full of energetic kids, as usual, playing everywhere. Things couldn't be more perfect for them. Mikasa and Aaron were playing at the swing set, while Armin was enjoying the big super slide. They could go on playing like this for hours, but it suddenly halted when a tremor erupted the ground. So far, nothing came after that. So the kids just went back to playing around, until an even bigger tremor triggered. Then it soon became an earthquake. As it grew bigger, the sounds of buildings come tumbling down. Civilians screaming for their lives, and car horns on the roads going off. The sound of crackling asphalt and concrete began erupting below. That led to a huge explosion of dirt, rocks, and gas from the pipelines. Gunfire shouted through the whole city, and unknown guttural war cries sprang up. Bodies began dropping at the park. Parents, friends, even children. Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin ran their way to Mrs. Ackerman's car, but they just found her limping body with a bullet in her shoulder. She eventually found another bullet in her head, with chunks of her skull and brain. A lot of Mrs. Ackerman's blood fell on Mikasa. Her remains found a new home on her daughter's clothes and face. Completely covered in blood, her shock was inflamed by a painful, loud cry. She would have fell to her knees, but Aaron pushed her forward, leaving her mother's body to fall in the growing pit. Closest thing to a burial she'll have in the world of Sarah. Running was the only instinct Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin could do. Holes were bursting everywhere. People were falling in, getting hailed by bullets by these gray, scaly monsters. None of the three could get a good glimpse of the monsters terrorizing the city. They were too occupied on saving their lives. Pure adrenaline drove the three away with the crowd. Like scattered roaches, rockets bursted in front of the people. Some people didn't want to look back, but curiosity hit Aaron and Armin like a rock to the face. Bestowed upon them was this colossal monster with a cannon mounted over his back and mounted machine guns on its arms. The huge, grotesque thing of nature let out all of its rounds on the people. Blood, oil, flesh, and fire filled the air. Aaron took Mikasa's hand and ran to the nearby alley. Armin followed behind them after taking a final glimpse of the huge, living weapon. The mask on its face made it look like it had 1,000 eyes. Armin doubted that, but it's the teeth that didn't lie. Through the alleys, the three kids ran for the safety of Aaron's home. The sound of gunfire, inhuman roars, and people dying made them go faster. For a while, it took the kids a long time to make it through the alleys. It was like a maze in there. The kids eventually made it to the front gate to the Jaeger house, and they could see Carla running to them. That's when the earthquakes happened again. This time they were right on top of it. The fountain at the front of their house began to rumble. The ground cracked in two, splitting the fountain apart. The kids and Carla tried to regain their balance, but it proved difficult when the crack grew into a big hole, and out of the hole came this enormous monstrosity. It resembled a spider, but all its legs were at its front, blocking its base. Its roar was loud, revealing its face as it raised all of its limbs. It was about the size of the manor itself. The monster hammered with all its might back to the ground, causing a loud thud that made all the people and objects jump a foot in the air. The monster then tore through the walls of the manor like paper. With a clear eye, Aaron could see his father. He's trapped in the open room. This big spider beast was preparing to lunge its pincers back in the manor, and the room with Aaron's father inside. But a few gears arrived in time to evacuate the kids. Aaron watched the big monster clamp down hard on his father, dead. Aaron, Armin, Mikasa, and Carla took refuge in a Colgate PC, and it drove them to safety. Now, I hope you enjoyed the one shot. I might, if you liked it a lot, then I'll make more of it. Yeah. Anything else? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next video.